Hi everyone, this is a presentation about screencasting or how to create your own videos to use in the classroom. And screencasting is a new term, and it means that you're recording what's happening on your screen. It's pretty easy to understand. And I love it because I don't have to worry about my own expressions or what I'm wearing. It's simply what is happening on the screen. And I've been interested in it for about a year, and I've been using it actively in my classroom. I'll be showing you different examples of how it can be used in the public schools and also how it can be used at the college level. And my name is Angela Brasser. I'm a National Board Certified Teacher, and I'm currently working at the ECTC branch of the community college. My email address is here, so please feel free to contact me. And I also teach online at Lindsey Wilson College. So what is screencasting? I already talked about that. It's just a video of your computer screen and an audio. And a lot of you have built-in microphones that you probably aren't aware of. And generally, you could turn on your computer and start doing screencasting in a matter of minutes. It's remarkably simple. So why would you use screencasting? You might use it for classroom management. When I was a teacher and I was working on my national board certification, I had to videotape my classroom, as many of you are aware, and I was shocked at what was going on in the classroom that I wasn't necessarily aware of. And it really opened my eyes to what was happening in the classroom. And not that anything was horrifying or anything, but I had students that weren't paying attention, and I wasn't aware of all of the students that weren't paying attention. And I think that happens to us as classroom teachers. We're busy, we're overworked, we are trying to think about what we're doing, we're trying to make a presentation, we're trying to look out for those special needs students, and it's just overwhelming to really take care of all of those students that are in our classroom. And so by using a video in the classroom, you could record a small presentation and walk around your classroom while the presentation that you created is happening, and it frees you up to make sure your students are paying attention. You can also use it for reteaching. If you have students who are struggling with a topic and they need to hear the topic again, whether it's in class or at home, you can reteach using this tool. And also, right brain versus left brain. Students can hear the information, they can see the information. You can really help them see what's going on. You can also use it for your substitute plans. In fact, when my brother-in-law died recently, I used this application that I'm using now, which is called Camtasia, which I'll cover in a few minutes, to record my plans for my students. So they were actually able to view and see and hear my lecture while I was gone. It was as if I wasn't gone. You can use it outside of the classroom. If you're trying to show someone long distance how to do something or teach them something, you can do that. Some online students really struggle with reading. There's an incredible amount of reading in an online classroom, and you can help bridge that gap with a presentation like this. You can also help with your tone. If you are teaching online, sometimes it's really difficult to convey your tone through an email or a text online, and students will read in. If they're having a bad day, they might think that you're yelling at them, when in fact you're just simply explaining something to them. So if they hear your voice a little bit periodically, even if it's not at that moment, it kind of gives them an idea of who you are. I was teaching in person during the summertime, and it was the end of the class. We had like one more week left, and I overheard one of my students ask another student if she had figured out how to double space using Word. And this is past our paper was turned in, everything was done. And the other girl said no. And I froze at that moment, because one of them was like 19 years old. You would think she knew how to use a computer. The other one was in her late 20s. And I froze listening to this answer the girl said, well, what did you do? And she said, well, I just clicked on each line and hit enter. And the other girl said, I did that too. And I thought, oh my God. I went over to them and said, girls, why didn't you ask me? Why didn't you say something? They said, well, we didn't want to bother you. And I wonder how many of those students, besides those two, did the same exact thing. So immediately I used this application that I'm going to show you today called Jing to record a very simple 5-minute video to show them how to set up their paper document in Microsoft Word, because a lot of them are buying Word for the first time. They don't have it, they've never used it, and they have no experience with it. So regardless of how young your students are, we can't assume that they know how to do these things. And I couldn't take the time in class to show them how to use Word. I'm already showing them how to do MLA format. And so this is what I use Jing for as well. Okay, so here's a video that I recorded. This is that video where the girls were talking about how to do Microsoft Word. And you can see you're going to hear the audio is not perfect. I wasn't using a professional microphone then. And you're going to see some mistakes because it couldn't be edited. But it's a great example of this type of video. And you can see that it is branded. So you can see what does that branding look like.
Hi, I've created this video so that you can create your own Word documents by playing this video, pausing at certain sections, and going back to your own document and making those changes. And the first thing that I usually do in my document is I change my font. And here I have times it's usually reset at Calibri when you first go in. So click here, and when you
This is a video that I created for Lindsay Wilson College, and we were switching from the Angel platform to Blackboard, and I wanted to introduce the students to the system in a very easy way for them where they didn't have to read a bunch of pages. It's a very different system from Angel, and I was really concerned about that. And since I couldn't be with them in person, I used this. And in this case, again, you can see the Jing branding here. It's very easy to see.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Understanding Art through Lindsay Wilson College. I've made this short video to help you through the course. As you log in, you'll see the home page here, and if you want to see past announcements, you really need to click More Announcements. This will take you to the history of announcements here, and you will see, for example, the past video I made that is similar to this one. So scroll back up to see the most recent post.
So when we talk about Jing by TechSmith, there's some great aspects to Jing. There are some problems with Jing. And so I'm going to cover 3 different programs just to introduce you to the system. And I would really recommend starting with Jing because it is free. You only can make 5-minute recordings, which is a limitation, obviously. But it's so easy to use. In fact, right now, you can see on my screen I have this yellow sun, and this is the Jing interface right here. So it's easy to use, and it can be viewed anywhere with internet access. So it provides you with a link where it's uploaded, and anyone can watch it. It's saved as a SWF flash file, so most computers can't just open up a flash file. In fact, my computer can't just open up a flash file. But you can use it with certain applications. If you know a little bit about Soft Chalk, that's something that you can use to import these files. So you're storing your files on Screencast.com, which has a certain amount of limited free storage. But I've found that it's quite a bit of storage. So to get Jing, you can go to techsmith.com //Jing. So instead of going through Jing myself and showing you how to do it, the best way to do it is just to show you the professional video that the TechSmith, which created Camtasia and Jing, created.
Jing is a fast, easy, and fun way to capture images and create videos of what you see on your screen, so you can add visual elements to all your online conversations. Oftentimes, using just words can be inefficient or even awkward. With Jing, explaining ideas, giving feedback, collaborating on projects, or just sharing information becomes so much easier. Jing sits conveniently on your desktop, so when you need to show something that's on your screen, the intuitive and fun application is ready to capture what you see as either an image or a video. And sharing your capture is even easier. Just click the Screencast.com button. Almost instantly, a link to your capture is placed on your clipboard, ready to be pasted into your online conversation. Whether that's a chat, an email, on a forum, wiki, your MySpace or Facebook page, or Twitter. So when the other person clicks on the link, they see what you see. Sharing what's on your screen has never been faster or easier. Enhance the images you capture with Jing arrows, text, and highlights. You can also create a short video or screencast with Jing and narrate it to add an extra layer of clarity. If you have the Pro version of Jing, not only can you record your screen, but also your webcam, so you can be part of your screencasts. Your captures can be shared to Screencast.com, which will give you that convenient link that is so easily pasted into all of your conversations. But you can also save your captures to your computer, your clipboard, your own FTP server, or your Flickr account. You can also configure Jing to return the HTML embed code, so you can very easily add your images and videos to your blog, MySpace, or website.
So for Jing Pro, it's $14.99 a year, which is very inexpensive. And you can try out the Jing free and see if it was something that you would use. You can save to an MPEG-4, which is a file that almost anyone can view. For example, with Windows Media, you see that. And also you can see it on YouTube, which is really helpful. Anyone can watch a video on YouTube, unless you're at a public school. And also those videos are unbranded, which the free videos do have a Jing brand. There's no secret how you created this, and so it's pretty obvious. Now Camtasia is a step up, and when we look at Camtasia, it's more expensive. It's $179 for the education's version, and it does have a 30-day trial, so I'd highly recommend that. What I did before I upgraded to Camtasia was I went online, I viewed all of the tutorials, I made sure that it was something that I was going to use. I downloaded it the moment I was ready to use it, tried it out for 30 days, got comfortable, and then made my purchase. So it's like Jing, only better. It doesn't have the 5-minute time limit. There are multiple ways to share. It does the MPEG-4. You can do YouTube, you can make a CD-ROM, you can share on Blackboard or Moodle, which is really helpful, and it is compatible with the iPhone or the iPad. And Camtasia allows you to do call-outs, so you can, for example, make a square around here, and I'll do that now so you can see that. You can make arrows to certain areas or you can highlight your cursor as you're going through. So Camtasia has more bells and whistles. Camtasia also is able to be edited. So because you can edit with Camtasia, you can really, if you spend the time, get out the uhs and the coughs and the this and that. If I make mistakes in my wording, sometimes I'll put a long pause in the recording so I can see that flat line and I can edit out that problem. So Camtasia is much nicer than the free version of Jing for sure. Then we have Adobe Captivate, and Adobe Captivate is $2.99. I don't possess this software. I would love to have a copy of it, but I don't. It works like PowerPoint, so it has slides. It's a slide-based. It's not a video-based. But the great thing about Adobe Captivate is that it's interactive. So you can have your students click on an area, and if they click on the wrong answer, for example, it can then propel them into a tutorial which the student that got the right answer would not receive. So Adobe Captivate has some amazing capabilities. And Adobe Captivate, like Camtasia, produces a very polished recording, whereas Jing is really a quick and dirty video, and it would be absolutely fine for most items. Please do give me a call or email if you have any questions.